Hi, I'm Tracy Redley and welcome to another one of my random in the moment videos. I didn't know I was doing another one today, but here I am. I've been told just to share some of my experience and understanding in relation to abundance specifically. Following a session I had this morning with a new lovely client from Dallas. You know who you are. I was in a state of, how do I say, aligned ecstasy, I suppose. So I was getting a lot of clear stuff come through and I was just buzzing around. And the words I kept getting reminded of were abundance is a state of being, which is so true. And it just kept replaying over and over and over in my head. So I kept getting told, you need to share this point with people because it's really easy to get caught up in the manifested form of abundance. Looking at what you have and what you don't have, where you're comparing yourself to others. And the essence is the abundance all comes from within. It's how we view the world. It's how we view our situation. It's how we view, if you look at it, possessions, what possessions we have, and the amount of gratitude that we have for it. So the beauty in the words of abundance is a state of being is that we can be abundant anywhere at any time. We just have to choose to see it. The power lies within us. The thing that gets in the way for most of us is that we have so many old programs in there. We have so many things telling us this is what abundance should look like. We have the comparisons, we have the judgments, we have all these things that take us away and distract us from seeing what it is that we truly have. The important things in life. And once we start to appreciate them, then of course we can change what's manifested in the physical world. But we've got to appreciate and be filled with abundance with what we already have in order to create more. And this is something we lose sight of. And it's not a conscious thing that we do. It's just something that's programmed into us from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And this is what the awakening process is about, is getting us to change that, to look at new ways of seeing our life, new ways of seeing our experiences, and how we choose to actually have that experience. We can choose to have an experience that, maybe is challenging, and we'll look at it as depressive and horrible and woe is me, and that's the old programs, when in fact it can be an experience of growth, expansion, seeing new aspects of yourself, finding new strengths you didn't know you have. And that's the blessing, that's the abundance in the experiences you have. It's the way you choose to look at it and put a meaning to it. So for me, I've had a lot of experiences, especially these last few years, of doing the bigger mission and collective work. And I tell you what, it's been a struggle to find the abundance in it when you're about to lose your life to something unseen that's attacking you in massive ways. But from it, I found strength I didn't know I had. Like, if you've watched my video on being fearless, nothing scares me. Because I've gone through those experiences, like nothing in this physical world, even in the higher aspects, doesn't faze me, because I know my truth. I know what I'm strong enough to do. I know what I came here to do. I know what I'm able to create. And that's the journey. That's what we all need to find for ourselves. What is our truth? We just need to peel back those layers that have been holding us back from being authentic. So I'm just sending this message to say, just do an evaluation of yourself. How are you looking at abundance? Are you looking at the fact that you've woken up in the morning as abundant? Are you looking at the fact that you had a bed to wake up in as abundant? Because there's many people that don't, and it's not about comparing that they don't and you do. It's just appreciating the fact that you have. It's you've got the food in the refrigerator, the fact you have a refrigerator. Maybe it's that you've even got electricity. Maybe it's you've still got a family member with you when other people don't. So appreciate the member that you do have, instead of focusing on maybe the lack of that you don't. There's so many ways for you to find new perspectives, new insights from the way that you're looking at things. And this is going to help you on your ascension journey. This is going to help you on the cognitive level. So for those that know my work, they know I can do a lot on the subconscious. I can go multidimensionally into you, into all aspects, into all layers, and do deep, profound work in those ways. But you also need the balance of the tools for the cognitive, like how to experience your day in a more blessed way, in a more grateful way. So the lady that I was with today, so blessed, so grateful to have the interaction with her. The alignment was beautiful. Her heart was open, my heart was open, and I'm so blessed that she was part of my journey and I got to share my gifts with her and that she was happily receiving them. Like, it was a beautiful exchange. And I walked away and I went outside and I was just like, wow, I just feel on top of the world right now. And it came from inside. It wasn't from anything external. It wasn't because I was going, I'm in a lovely place at the moment or anything like that. It was purely my feeling within was abundance. It was beauty. It was joy. And that's what we need to try and connect with more. Sometimes it is easier to say than it is to do, and I do understand that because we can go into some really dark nights of the soul and where you're in it, and I know because I went in it for quite a few years without rest, and there is even blessings in that journey. At the time it can be hard to see, but as you move through each day with it, you will see your strength grow. Sometimes it's hard to recognize it because that's when you're in the deepest part of the old parts of your ego dying off, but they are there and you will recognize it, and then the abundance will come when that darkness shifts. So like, just hang in there with wherever you're at, but just put a little bit of awareness on what is around you. If you do happen to be experiencing the dark night of the soul, or you're maybe venturing into that, that is a blessing. That is you saying, it's time for me to step up. Yes, maybe it's not in the most pleasant way, having to drop down into some really heavy shit, but the blessing is you're strong enough to get through it and you're willing and able to rise above it in your own time, in your own way. You just have to find your tools to get through it. If you need help, obviously you can reach out to me or other people. But you wouldn't take on that journey, you wouldn't step into that dark night unless you had the power and strength to get through it. It's as simple as that. It's horrible, it's painful, it's like friggin' torture. I know mine certainly has been. Like I said, mine was for years with the collective and galactic mission stuff on top of that. So that just made it even worse. But the power, the growth, the transformation that came with that, it's phenomenal. Like, I would never know my abilities if I hadn't gone through that. So just hang in there on that end of things. It is a blessing, as uncomfortable as it is. All change is going to be uncomfortable, but it's still a blessing because it's pushing you further than what you think you can go. So I could probably talk about a lot of things, but I'm not going to right now. But I just wanted to just get that bit across. Look for the abundance, look for the blessings, look for the positivity in the situations. No matter how hard they are, there is growth for you. When there is growth, that is a blessing. It means something in you is shifting, something in you is changing, something in you is pushing you to be more than what you are, more than you think you're able to be. Yes, like I said, it's uncomfortable, it can feel unkind, it can feel like the world is, coming against you, but that's not the case. That's just the ego dying off. That's just old aspects of you doing their best to hold on. And they can't if you stay true to yourself and true to your path, which is you want to expand. You want to come from the heart. You want to be authentic. If you're watching this video, you're one of these people or you wouldn't have found it. So I'm sending you lots of love, light, and encouragement to look for the blessings in each moment. Look for the abundance that you already have. Know that you can manifest more actual material abundance, by believing that you can. So many people I've noticed, and I used to be one of them, I said, you know what, my bank account says I can't, even though my heart says it can. And it's like, well, you actually have to believe. If your heart's saying, yeah, it's possible, it's possible. You just have to turn the mind down and just allow the answers to come. So if you felt the alignment to be somewhere, you don't have the funds. If you felt the alignment to work with someone and you don't have the funds at the moment, but your heart's saying, this is right, keep your head out of the way and allow the magic to unfold for you. Okay, that's all I'm going to share. Really don't know what I've said. I'll watch this afterwards and find out, but hopefully you take something from it. And I'm sending you love, and I am so grateful and so blessed to have you guys as part of my journey. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so somewhere here. Tuesdays I do my light language healing activation. Sometimes I do a bit of insight talk with that as well. Sometimes I don't. Depends what happens on the day, in the moment. And share it with like-minded friends if you feel they may benefit from it. That would be great. And comments below. As normal, sending you love. Bye.